The world of late-night television thrives on spontaneity, charm, and the occasional headline-making moment, but no one quite expected the storm that hit the set of Jimmy Kimmel Live. When global superstar Jennifer Lopez made an appearance, only to walk off mid-interview in a scene that left audiences stunned and social media ablaze. What began as a typical evening promoting her latest music and film ventures quickly spiraled into a tense exchange that ended in Lopez storming off stage, visibly upset. Jennifer Lopez, widely known for her poise under pressure and decades of professional polish, arrived at the taping in high spirits. Dressed in a sleek silver ensemble that shimmered under the studio lights, she looked every inch the A-list icon. The audience erupted in applause as she took her seat opposite Kimmel, the two exchanging playful banter. For the first few minutes, all seemed well. Laughs were shared, anecdotes were exchanged, and Lopez even teased a few details about her upcoming album. But things took a sharp turn when Kimmel veered the conversation into more personal territory. The first signs of discomfort showed when Kimmel brought up Lopez's past relationships. While such questions are not unusual in celebrity interviews, there was a certain edge in Kimmel's tone, almost as if he were fishing for a reaction. He jokingly referenced the media circus surrounding her rekindled romance with Ben Affleck, adding a cheeky remark about her pattern of dating high-profile men. Lopez, though initially smiling, offered a short, tight-lipped response. Kimmel pressed further, asking whether she believed in soulmates, or if perhaps she just loved the spotlight that came with high-profile love affairs. What followed was a shift in atmosphere so palpable that even the studio audience grew uneasy. Lopez straightened in her chair, her eyes narrowing just slightly. She answered calmly at first, defending her relationships as real and deeply personal, but there was no mistaking the growing edge in her voice. Kimmel, either oblivious or emboldened by the tension, pushed once more, suggesting that her multiple engagements over the years made her the Elizabeth Taylor of pop. That comment was the breaking point. Lopez, clearly holding back a wave of emotion, responded curtly, "That's incredibly disrespectful, Jimmy." The audience, unsure whether this was a bit or something more serious, fell into a stunned silence. Kimmel, caught off guard, tried to pivot back to a lighter tone, laughing awkwardly and saying, "Hey, come on, we're just having fun here," but Lopez wasn't laughing. "This isn't fun," she snapped. "You don't get to reduce my life to a joke. I've worked too hard for too long to sit here and be mocked under the pretense of comedy." With that, she stood up, removed her microphone, and walked off stage, leaving a stunned Jimmy Kimmel sitting in her wake. The camera awkwardly cut to a commercial break, and the broadcast returned with Kimmel addressing the audience, saying, "Well, folks, that was unexpected. Hopefully we can clear things up soon." But the damage was done. Within minutes, the internet was flooded with clips and commentary on what had just unfolded. Social media exploded with reactions. Some users were quick to defend Lopez, applauding her for standing up for herself and calling out what many saw as Kimmel's disrespectful line of questioning. Hashtags like RespectJLo and Kimmel out of line began trending. Others accused Lopez of overreacting, arguing that late-night talk shows have always pushed boundaries and that celebrities should be prepared for a little razzing. Behind the scenes, sources reported that Lopez was furious and felt ambushed. While no physical altercations occurred, she reportedly refused to return to the set or finish the interview segment, despite pleas from producers. Kimmel, for his part, is said to have reached out to Lopez privately after the show, offering an apology. Whether or not it was accepted remains unclear. This isn't the first time Lopez has faced uncomfortable moments in the spotlight. As one of the most scrutinized figures in entertainment, her personal life has often overshadowed her artistic achievements. Over the years, she's remained mostly composed in the face of intrusive questions, unfair criticism, and sexist double standards. That's part of what made this moment so shocking, seeing a woman so famously in control finally lose her composure on such a public stage. But perhaps, for Lopez, it was less about a single question and more about years of being diminished by the media. From the start of her career, she's been labeled and categorized, first as a dancer-turned-actress, then a singer who couldn't really sing, and later as a celebrity whose romantic life was more relevant than her talent. Despite all that, she's carved out a legacy few can rival. She's a business mogul, a fashion icon, a performer who's sold out stadiums and headlined the Super Bowl. And yet, she's still being asked why she's had more than one engagement. The incident on Jimmy Kimmel Live has sparked broader conversations about how female celebrities, especially women of color, are treated in the media. While male stars are often lauded for their romantic exploits, women like Lopez are shamed, dissected, and ridiculed. That double standard, though long acknowledged, came into stark relief during that brief but explosive interview segment. As the days passed, Lopez made a brief public statement via social media. She didn't directly reference Kimmel or the show, but posted a message that read, "Know your worth. Don't let anyone reduce your story to a punchline." Fans flooded the comments with support, reinforcing the idea that, whatever the context, her reaction came from a place of accumulated frustration. Meanwhile, Kimmel addressed the incident in his following night's monologue, offering a somewhat more contrite version of events. He admitted that the conversation went off the rails and expressed regret if his jokes came across as insensitive. Still, he stopped short of a full apology, instead framing it as a misunderstanding. "We all have bad nights," he said, "and sometimes the joke doesn't land. Whether the rift between Lopez and Kimmel will heal remains to be seen." In Hollywood, time tends to smooth over even the most bitter public disputes. But the moment has already cemented itself in pop culture memory. It's a reminder that even celebrities, despite their fame and wealth, are human beings with limits. And when those limits are crossed, even someone as seasoned and composed as Jennifer Lopez can reach a breaking point. In the aftermath, industry insiders are left wondering what this means for celebrity interviews going forward. Will talk show hosts take more care with their questions? Will stars be more hesitant to sit down for casual chats that could quickly become minefields? The dynamic between celebrity and interviewer is a delicate dance, one built on trust, timing, and mutual respect. When that balance is broken, as it was on that fateful night, the fallout can be both explosive and deeply revealing. For Jennifer Lopez, the walk-off might not just be a moment of personal frustration, it might become a defining line in how she chooses to engage with the media moving forward. In an industry that often demands vulnerability for the sake of ratings, her refusal to play along could be seen as an act of quiet rebellion. One that says, "You can ask the questions, but I don't have to sit here and take it." The world of late-night television thrives on spontaneity, charm, and the occasional headline-making moment, but no one quite expected the storm that hit the set of Jimmy Kimmel Live. When global superstar Jennifer Lopez made an appearance, only to walk off mid-interview in a scene that left audiences stunned and social media ablaze. What began as a typical evening promoting her latest music and film ventures quickly spiraled into a tense exchange that ended in Lopez storming off stage, visibly upset. Jennifer Lopez, widely known for her poise under pressure and decades of professional polish, arrived at the taping in high spirits. Dressed in a sleek silver ensemble that shimmered under the studio lights, she looked every inch the A-list icon. The audience erupted in applause as she took her seat opposite Kimmel, the two exchanging playful banter. For the first few minutes, all seemed well. Laughs were shared, anecdotes were exchanged, and Lopez even teased a few details about her upcoming album. But things took a sharp turn when Kimmel veered the conversation into more